South China Morning Post, 13th of November 2022. At the East Asia Summit, Joe Biden and Li Keqiang thaw diplomatic ties between the U.S. and China. China and the United States have been at war for 100 years, but because of Xi Jinping, China attacked the United States before she was ready, exposed herself to the world, and will soon pay a heavy price. During a regional summit in Cambodia on Sunday, Chinese Premier Li Keqiang and U.S. President Joe Biden met, laying the groundwork for their highly anticipated meeting on Monday with Chinese President Xi Jinping. The two conversed during the East Asia Summit, a national gathering that comprises the Association of Southeast Asian Nations, ASEAN, and its dialogue partners. Tensions between the two biggest economies in the world are at an all-time high. The two leaders met behind closed doors for the first time in 2 years. However, it is unknown whether they spoke directly. The need to preserve freedom of navigation and overflight in the East China and South China Seas was one of many topics Biden discussed, according to the White House. Additionally, Biden emphasized that the U.S. would vigorously compete with China and speak out against its violations of human rights while still maintaining open lines of communication and ensuring competition does not veer into war. The White House stated that Obama reaffirmed the importance of sustaining peace and stability across the Taiwan Strait. Before meeting Xi, Biden said that the Democratic Party's successful midterm election campaign in the U.S. had improved his situation. In the capital of Cambodia, Phnom Penh, he declared, "I know I'm coming in stronger," adding that he anticipated a straightforward conversation with the Chinese leader. Hun Sen, the Prime Minister of Cambodia, expressed his hope that leaders might join together to confront the existential and strategic difficulties that the globe is experiencing before the negotiations behind closed doors. He states, "Many present issues and tensions have been impeding our attempts to promote sustainable development and worsening people's lives. This calls for our cooperation in advancing the shared goal of creating a better future for the next generation." On Sunday, leaders from Australia, Japan, and South Korea were also present at the summit. Both Biden and Li have worked to strengthen ties with Southeast Asian nations as the U.S. and China compete for influence in the region. On Saturday, the U.S. president promised closer cooperation on pressing regional issues like the violence following Myanmar's military takeover and the South China Sea conflict, stating that ASEAN was at the core of Washington's Asia strategy. Biden expressed alarm about potential Chinese military activity at a Cambodian naval facility during his discussion with Hun Sen. Both Cambodia and China refuted this assertion. According to Li, ASEAN would be given great importance in China's neighborhood diplomacy. In recent months, tensions between the two nations have risen on issues such as Washington's backing for Taiwan, alleged breaches of human rights, and export restrictions on microchips that could harm China's technology sector. On Monday, Biden is set to fly to Bali in Indonesia, where he will meet Xi before the two-day Group of 20 summits. According to Jake Sullivan, Biden's national security advisor, the American leader is anticipated to discuss red lines while expressing worries about North Korea's most recent missile provocations. Since Biden took office as president in 2021, this will be their first face-to-face meeting. While no significant results are anticipated from their first face-to-face meeting, analysts claim that the encounter will help both parties better grasp one another's priorities and intents and lessen misunderstandings. This is challenging, though, as China consistently plays the double game of stating one thing while doing quite the opposite. China is unreliable,